For centuries, pilgrims journeyed across the vast deserts of Arabia to reach Mecca. The road was harsh, the sun unforgiving, and water was scarce. Many never made it. But then came a woman who changed everything. Zubaydah bint Jafar, a woman of immense wealth and vision, saw the suffering of these travelers and decided to act. As the wife of Caliph Harun al-Rashid, she could have lived a life of luxury, far from the hardships of the desert. Instead, she spent her fortune ensuring that no pilgrim would go thirsty. Her greatest legacy? A vast network of wells, reservoirs, and aqueducts known as Zubaydah's Road, a lifeline for generations of travelers. This is the story of a woman who left her mark on history, not through conquest, but through compassion. Zubaydah was no ordinary woman. Born into the powerful Abbasid dynasty, she was the granddaughter of Caliph al-Mansur and the cousin, and later wife, of Caliph Harun al-Rashid. She grew up surrounded by wealth, scholars, and the finest minds of the age. But she was not content to be just a royal consort. She was highly educated, deeply involved in court affairs, and known for her intelligence and generosity. Unlike many women of her time, she commanded immense political and financial power. In the Abbasid court, she was feared by her rivals and admired by the people. When she spoke, even the most powerful men listened. But it was her actions beyond the palace walls that would define her legacy. Every year, thousands of Muslims set out on the Hajj, the sacred pilgrimage to Mecca. But in the 8th and 9th centuries, this journey was treacherous. The main route, the Darb Zubaydah, stretched over 1,300 kilometers from Kufa in Iraq to Mecca, winding through scorching deserts and barren mountains. Water was the greatest challenge. Pilgrims often died of thirst long before they saw the Kaaba. Others were forced to rely on unreliable wells, constantly at risk of drying up. When Zubaydah saw the suffering of these travelers, she refused to stand by. She decided to build something unprecedented, a system of wells, cisterns, and aqueducts that would bring fresh water to the pilgrims, no matter how far they traveled. Zubaydah did not simply donate money and walk away. She personally oversaw the project, hiring the best engineers and laborers of her time. She instructed them to spare no expense, to use the finest materials, and to ensure that the water never ran dry. The result was an engineering marvel. Massive stone reservoirs were dug deep into the desert, able to hold water for months. Aqueducts carried water from distant springs, ensuring a constant supply. At regular intervals along the road, rest stops were built, places where travelers could find shade, food, and safety. Some wells were so well constructed that they lasted for over 1,000 years, with remnants still visible today. Her generosity was legendary. When her engineers expressed concerns about the cost, she famously replied, "Do it, even if every single pickaxe stroke costs a gold coin." For Zubaydah, no price was too high when it came to easing the suffering of others. Her road transformed the pilgrimage. What was once a deadly journey became a manageable path, allowing thousands more to fulfill their religious duty. But her influence did not stop there. She was also a patron of the arts and sciences, supporting poets, scholars, and architects. She commissioned magnificent palaces, gardens, and public works, leaving her mark not only in the desert, but also in the cities of the Abbasid Empire. Yet, despite her wealth and power, she faced opposition. Some saw her generosity as extravagance. Others, particularly in later years, resented the political influence she wielded. But history remembers her not as a woman of controversy, but as a woman of vision and action. Zubaydah bint Jafar was more than just a queen. She was a builder, a patron, and a protector of travelers. At a time when women rarely held power, she carved out her own legacy, not with armies, but with wells and roads that saved lives. Even today, the remnants of her work can still be found in the deserts of Arabia. a testament to a woman who saw suffering and chose to end it. She was born into privilege, but she used her wealth for the benefit of others. She could have lived in comfort, but she chose to build for those in need. And in doing so, she ensured that her name would never be forgotten.